Hello, we are in a windy woodland location close to a beach. Quite a lot of wind around, quite a lot of noise around, but we're going to do our best anyway. We've kind of got a bit of a sideline to the coffee series in this video because I want to show you a couple of things adjacent to making coffee outdoors that aren't exactly that. A few things we're going to show you. We're going to show off the Kelly Kettle. This is a very well-known way of heating water on trail. Certainly not good for solo hikers because of the size of the thing. But if you're with a large group, one of you could be carrying this, or good for kind of car camping, that kind of thing. When you're not moving around so much, we're going to demonstrate how that works. We're going to have a look at this forbidden brownie. I saw online that people were making fuel for fireplaces out of used coffee grounds. These things called coffee logs, if you look them up online. And I wondered whether if I make them in a smaller size, whether they would work on a camping stove. So it's like homemade fuel. Smells of coffee, which is interesting. It's very tempting to eat one, but don't. I'm going to see if it works, and if it does, I'll tell you about how I made it. So we're going to use this to fuel our Kelly Kettle. And then we're going to make a drink that's not coffee, but can be foraged from the woods. As I suspected, they're not able to light on their own, so we're going to find a bit of extra fuel. It's taken a little bit of work to get the coffee logs burning. Had to find some dry leaves around, which wasn't easy here. Everything's a bit damp, but they seem to have caught. I've got some fuel that I've collected in case they go out, but it looks like we're there. The coffee logs are burning now. I've had to add some sticks and leaves that I found from around here. Hard to find something that was dry. So I guess that does make the utility of coffee logs questionable if you're still using fuel that you find around. But despite that, using the Kelly Kettle is great fun because it's making a little fire, and that's always enjoyable. Now that the coffee logs are going, they do seem to be burning quite hot. And that is the sound of our water boiled. And there we go, we've boiled water in just a few minutes, and it was good fun. Now, you're not going to be making pour over with a kettle that pours like that. But even though I haven't got any coffee with me today, I did forage some of this. What this is needles from a red pine tree. I foraged these just over there earlier on. Most species of pine can be used to make tea with, to make an infusion with. There's a couple that can't, so do look up and try and get a positive ID on any pine trees near you. A red pine will have 2 needles kind of in a bundle when you pull them. To prepare a tea, all I'm going to do is take the little woody end off, break it into a few sections and stick it in the water, and then leave that to sit for a few minutes, and it makes a really nice drink. I would describe the taste as being citrusy. So there's a compound called limonene in these, limonene after lemon, and there's a pininess to it as well. Kind of this resinous taste, which is really rather nice. Now when they're fresh off the tree, it steeps pretty quickly. But you can go and forage some of this stuff and then bring it home and dry it. So here's some that I collected a couple of weeks ago that I've been having at home as a nice kind of evening hot drink. All right, we've let our pine needles steep for a little bit. It's time to have a try. Oops. That is lovely. It is lemony, it is resinous. So it's like the odour of pine turned into a flavour. And I really enjoy it. For me, being outside, hiking, camping, all of those things, it's about being immersed in nature, being amongst trees, amongst the sound of the wind, even if that is bad for video, and looking at wildlife, that kind of thing. So foraging for things to make tea with is kind of just increases that experience. It brings a whole other sense into that experience, a sense of taste. And to me, that is a useful thing. It helps me kind of feel more connected. So I know it wasn't coffee this time, but I hope that you enjoyed finding out about pine needle tea. There's plenty of other things that can be foraged and tea made with. This just happens to be the one that I found today. All right, I'll see you next time. Hi all, it's Jim here, interrupting at the end of my own video where I tried to talk about coffee logs and Kelly Kettles and making pine needle tea, and discovered that that was too many things to talk about in one video. That meant that the coffee log stuff kind of got mostly cut out just to make the video flow better. Also because I discovered that though interesting as an alternative fuel for a fireplace, coffee logs aren't great as a camping stove solution. Maybe for a bonfire they would work, and they're an interesting way to recycle used coffee grounds, but ultimately they weren't the right fit for what I was trying to use them for. So I decided to cut that content back. But if you are interested in the idea of recycling your coffee grounds into fuel for a fireplace, I have included instructions on how to make them in the description of this video. So I hope you enjoy that. Finally, before I go, if you caught my last video, you saw me working on this painting. It's now finished, and that's good. For me, that symbolises winter is over and going to be getting out on trail a lot more and making more videos outdoors, which is what I really want to do, and hopefully that's what you want to see as well. Just a reminder, if you want to sponsor me on my upcoming multi-day hike, that link is in the description as well.